So, again, after establishing that the senses must be engaged in something superior, Krishna again points out that you must do your duty. After all, through Arjuna, Krishna is giving a message to the entire humanity. Sometimes people think that if we take the spiritual life, all these factories will close, the whole society will get paralyzed because the result will be that everyone's going to withdraw to a secluded place. But no, actually we understand this chapter of Karma Yoga, we will learn how we can progressively work towards complete renunciation. How we can learn to get detached to the results of our activities. How we can control the mind and the intelligence, how the senses can be controlled by the proper utilization of one's intelligence. So, Krishna is saying that Arjuna, one should try to control the senses but the mind and begin Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is activities performed in Krishna consciousness which is without attachment. So when we work without attachment, that is superior. You will remember that Arjuna actually is attached. Arjuna is attached to his vision. That is, I cannot engage in this battle. I cannot engage in this battle because they're my superiors who taught me the art of warfare. And these are people that I have all along held in great reverence. So Krishna, how can I engage in this activity? But in this chapter, Karma Yoga, Krishna is pointing out to different angles how one must do his duty. Arjuna, as he pointed out yesterday, belonging to the Kshatriya order, it was his duty to fight for the right cause. Arjuna was not fighting for the wrong cause. He was fighting for the right cause. And therefore, it was the Lord's desire that this fight take place to establish the victory of virtue over vice. So Krishna is saying that Karma Yoga means to perform activities but without attachment. And Krishna points out that actually nobody can maintain one's body without work, isn't it? To think that we can maintain ourselves without work is impossible. And as we go along, we will see that Krishna will point out that even he has to work. After all, it is not the natural nature works without anybody directing it. For example, the sun rises every day at the right time, isn't it? Without fail, the sun rises every day at the right time. The wind blows, the moon, the stars, they're all there to give us light. So there is somebody who is directing all this. It is not that natural nature works independent of the Lord. So the Lord is also working and doing his duty. Can you imagine what would be the effect on society if for one day the sun did not rise at the right time? Can you imagine? Have you ever imagined? Can you imagine if for one day there's a power failure and the sun doesn't come out, what will happen? I mean, I'm not a scientist, but scientists have said that even if the sun deviates by a fraction of an inch, there will be a disaster, isn't it? So, can you imagine what it will happen if for one night the moon doesn't rise and the stars don't rise? It's going to be a disaster. So Krishna says, all this world will be put to ruin if I don't do my duty. If you see that the laws of material nature are working perfectly, it is proof that Krishna is doing his duty. And he has been doing his duty since times immemorial. And Krishna says, there will be unwanted population. Varna sanskara. Varna sanskara in Sanskrit means unwanted population. So unwanted population means producing children like cats and dogs. You produce children like cats and dogs and the hogs, the pigs. They produce so many children. But we don't consider it our duty to educate these children regarding the goal of life. For example, it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that one should not become a father till he can take his dependence back to Godhead. If you want to produce children, fine. But then give these children the knowledge by which they can achieve the goal of life. Otherwise don't become a father. So Krishna says, if I don't do my duty, two effects will be there. One is that the whole world will be ruined, naturally. And there's going to be varna samskara. There's going to be unwanted population. For example, one of the arguments that Arjuna presents in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is that if I engage in this battle of Krishna, there's going to be unwanted population. The women folk, according to the Vedic system, are to be protected. What's going to happen if all these men are going to die in the battle? So Krishna is saying that he doesn't want to create unwanted population. Therefore, as human beings, we should create population that can be guided regarding the goal of life. But today, we have overpopulation in schools, colleges, everywhere because nobody is being taught. Nobody is being taught what is the goal of life. So unwanted population is not desired in the human form of life. We should produce children if we can give them knowledge about God. And if we don't want to produce children and give them knowledge about God, that doesn't mean that we should encourage abortion and contraception, but the Vedas explain that one should refrain from activities by which a crime can be committed. So, Krishna is pointing out again and again that we must do your duty. Now, the two classes of men in society, there are those who are ignorant and those who are in knowledge. Now, those who are ignorant, they perform their duty with attachment. But Krishna says that those who are actually in knowledge, they must learn to perform without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path. So, for the sake of leading people on the right path, we must perform our duty. Now, prakate tiya mamani guna karmani sarvavasaha ahankar vimudatma kartamiti manyate. The bewildered spirit soul thinks that he is the doer. But actually Krishna says everything is actually carried out by me. So basically the two classes of people in society. Those who acknowledge that Krishna is the supreme controller and those who think that I am the doer. Those who think that they are the doers, they are just influenced by what is known as Hankar Vimudatma. Everyone knows Hankar, Hankar means false ego. So those who are influenced by false ego, they think that we are the doers. But Krishna says, actually, everything is being carried out by Prakriti. Prakriti Piya Mamani. And Mamani, this Prakriti is working, it's my Prakriti. So those who are in knowledge, they know that Krishna controls everything. It is said that not a blade of grass moves without God's permission. So those who are in knowledge, they know that Krishna is the controller of everything. And those who are ignorant, what do they think? Those who are ignorant, they think that I am the controller. I am the doer. I. Very often people are so proud of their achievements that when you ask them, where is the I in their body, nobody knows where the I is. They say, I made my factory a success. I did this, I did that. But Krishna says, actually, everything is being done by material nature. So the devotee, one who has the spiritual wisdom, he knows that Krishna is the cause of all causes and he is the supreme controller. And those who are ignorant, mandana. Mandana means lazy person. And just like yesterday we had used the word kripana. And we had explained that kripana means one who doesn't understand the goal of life, one who is miserly, kanjus, one who gets this human life, which is the greatest wealth, but he doesn't want to use this life for the right cause. A kanjus will have a big bank balance, but he doesn't know how to use the money for further gain, isn't it? So the Vedas say, kripana is one who gets this human birth, but he doesn't know how to use his human birth for a more profitable ending. So similarly, there's another word called mandana. Mandan means a lazy person. So Krishna is pointing out that the ignorant person who are fully engaged themselves in ritual activities, they're just attached. But the wise men, they just do their duties. And by gradual progress, they will actually come up. So, again Krishna is saying the same point that he has already made in the second verse, dedicate all your activities to me and work for me. And without working for any claims of proprietorship, Arjuna, you will be able to achieve the goal of life. So this is the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of the Bhagavad Gita eventually is to bring one to the point of complete surrender.